Denise Dillon joins us right now. Denise in her 8th season as the head coach in Philadelphia with Drexel. Denise, we talked to Tina Martin a second ago. She's got 4 starters returning. You've got 4 starters returning. But you lost one of the better players to ever play in this league, didn't you?
That's true. That's exactly right. We do have 4 starters returning, which we're excited about, but we know we have some big shoes to fill with the loss of Gabby. So it's going to be a tough task for our girls.
Right, and Gabby was drafted to the WNBA, and the Minnesota Lynx picked her up, and she was there for a month. Talk about where she is now, what she's doing.
Gabby's over in Greece. She's playing for a professional team over in Athens, and very excited about it. I think the experience with the Lynx certainly helped prepare her for the professional level, and it all worked out for her after a great career at Drexel.
Life has to go on, though. You do have 4 starters returning, and you're also coming off back-to-back postseason appearances where you were in the NCAA 2 years ago. Last year, 17 wins and a WNIT appearance.
Well, the conference has helped in that aspect with getting so many teams into postseason last year. So looking at the strength of the conference and getting that recognition is great. Obviously, you have to do your job as a team itself, an individual team, and with the leadership of Gabby leading the way, getting us those 2 postseason bids, we're counting on our girls collectively to pick it up and get us that 3rd, stay consistent with it.
Who's going to replace those points?
It has to be a collective unit. There's not one particular player who can make up. She scored 24 points a game.
Right.
So we're looking if a couple players can just add some points to their game and each of them can contribute a little bit more, then collectively we're going to have to make up for it.
Well, one player that could take that role and help in that plight would be Holly Mershon.
Correct.
And she has a lot of versatility, and I'm sure she's improved upon that in the offseason.
No question. She has worked so hard on her game this summer, and it's been great. We're just a week into practice, but you can see the difference in her as a sophomore. She can shoot the ball. She can shoot the 3, but she also understood she can't be one-dimensional. So she's doing a nice job taking it off the dribble, getting some rebounds, which I tell them, some offensive rebounds can turn into points for us. So we need to really focus on that.
Denise, something was a little bit different this year as far as your preseason activities. The women's programs got to start a little bit earlier this year. How did that affect you, or did it affect you?
Well, I think it helped a little bit to get a couple practices under your belt sooner than later.
And why did the NCAA make that rule?
I'm not sure. I can't even answer that because I wasn't aware that.
Don't look a gift horse in the mouth, right?
I know.
Okay.
But they said that you can go 40 days prior to your first game.
Right.
We don't play our first game until November 16th, which is a little later. It's about 4 or 5 days later than that opening weekend. So we may not have started as soon as some of the others. But I think it just gave that opportunity maybe to get a full month of practice in before your first game as opposed to 3 weeks.
And I think that helps also in terms of finding that chemistry and getting your team together.
Oh, absolutely. In the first week, you kind of have an understanding of what you can put in, where the girls stand. So it was a good first week of practice.
You were picked 6th in the league this year. Preseason polls, they mean very little. You've got to go out and play the games. But how do you see the league as a whole?
The league is extremely strong. I thought being picked 6th was generous, with what we lost. I do understand, having 4 returning starters, but we finished 4th last year, and that was really just a tiebreaker. So they're picking us, middle of the pack with losing a key player. And it doesn't matter. I agree with what you said. You don't know. We were picked first going into last season. You see where that placed us. But it's a strong, strong conference, and then adding 2 great coaches at UNCW and Georgia State is certainly going to make it tougher.
We'll discuss the other returning players and what their roles will be in this program this year.
Well, as I mentioned, just as a collective unit, we're asking all of them to step up their game a little bit more. Obviously, a lot of shots are going to be available with Gabby graduating. She did take a lot of shots, but shot 50% from the field as well. So if she wasn't making those shots, chances are she was going to the foul line. Shooting 90% from the foul line was a great number as well. So it is just the girls getting comfortable within our offense, running the set plays and getting the looks within what we do. And then our motion offense will always come into play. But we continue to focus on the defensive end because we don't know yet how consistent we're going to be on the offensive end. So we're putting a lot more focus on the defensive end and rebounding.
Just taking a look at your non-conference schedule, it sets up pretty well. I mean, you're going to get some tests early.
No question. Our non-conference schedule is by far the most challenging that we've had in my time at Drexel. And we do feel that it's going to do the best job to prepare the girls for what is to come in the conference.
And we need to ask you one more question.
Sure.
the tournament this year?
Yes.
Going to be on a neutral site. It's going to be a very popular question, and so far the response has been very enthusiastic. How do you feel about it?
I'm extremely excited. We know we have great players in this conference, and we're going to draw the crowd to promote this conference. A neutral site is something we've been working on, something we've been talking about, so we're excited to have an opportunity to play in front of that neutral crowd in Maryland.
Well, it's been since 1998,
Yes.
so that's been a long time.
Denise, good luck to you this year.
Thank you very much.
Good luck, Denise.
Thank you.